What? Be nice. You guys, so I have a new puppy. And I don't want her shitting around the house. So I decided to come sit her here because I don't want to put her in a cage while I'm doing this. But she apparently doesn't want to sit with me. This is Cena. Look, see? I told you she doesn't want to sit here with me, right? Look at her. She's biting me. Seriously, Zena? Can you just, like, smile for the camera? No? She is a German Rottweiler. And she's 6 weeks. And she doesn't want to sit here with me. But she'll find another time to come sit with me. Oh, my goodness. Look at her. Can you see her? No, she doesn't want to sit here. But here she... Stop, Zena! Alright, I'm going to put her down. Bye. You better not poop. Alright, I'm watching you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle with Prettiest Problem, and today I am coming to you with a Let's Chat video. So recently I've been having this on my mind, and I don't know why. I guess, you know, the older you get, the more you start to ponder about things and just like try to put life into perspective. So basically I've been thinking a lot about friendship lately, and as you can see by the title, we're going to talk about friendship. Zena, cut it out now. You didn't want to be in my video, so okay, I don't need you making your little noises in the background. Trying to steal my shine. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this. I'm just kind of like doing an impromptu let's talk video. Okay, me personally, right? I'm a very social person. Anybody that knows me knows that I get along really well with a lot of people. So a lot of times I make a lot of friends, and I like to think that I'm a good friend. However, that is coming from my perspective. Friendship is something that you have to constantly work on. Now we're living in a day and age where social media plays a really big part in everyday life. Like, you really can't get around it. You can choose not to be on social media, but at the same time, it's like there are so many connections that you could be making on social media. It's almost like a detriment to not be on social media. Social media personally for me has allowed me to keep in contact with a lot of people that I wouldn't normally be able to keep in contact with. So it allows me to nourish certain friendships that wouldn't be there had it not been for social media. However, friendship as a whole takes more than just social media interactions. I posted a post on my Facebook asking, what do people expect from friendships now that social media plays such a big part in life? Me personally, I utilize social media as a way of being there without physically being able to be there. And so, you know, you get older, you have a life, you have a husband, you have children, you have responsibilities, and everybody's situation is different. But me as a woman, I have so many responsibilities, and to have any time for myself is rare. You know, I get it here and there, I gotta get it when I can, but then it's like to add friendships on top of the already really super long list, it just makes it that much harder. And it's not that you don't want to nourish your friendships, it's just that you have so many other responsibilities. It kind of makes it hard to be present in all of your friendships, especially somebody like me who has tons of friends that I would consider genuine friends, but it's like friends from different walks of life that I've all nourished those relationships at some point, and now I've gotten to a point where it's not as easy for me to nourish those as I did before. I really was taking more of an introspective look at myself, because I really do care about my friendships, and I don't want to lose friendships because I'm at a certain point in life. So I really try to be thoughtful of my friends. I have so many different friends with so many different lives and so many different scenarios, and you know, everybody has their own life going on. So it's just sometimes it gets hard to really be present with so many people, and social media really makes it easier, but it shouldn't be a crutch. So I think taking time to have that personal time with friends is really important, but also someone mentioned honesty and understanding. Some of your friends you go weeks, months, and maybe even a year without speaking to them, but then when you do speak to them, you pick up like you know, nothing left off. So that's a part of understanding. Like, you know what's going on, I know what's going on, you know, we're here with it, so it doesn't really need to be explained. But then other times it's like, sometimes I feel personally that I have my own life going on. I got all of this stuff, all of these people that I'm taking care of, we got a new dog, like it's a lot going on in my life. And then I still reach out to my friends. I'm still calling my friends. I'm still, you know, trying to be there for my friends at certain points when they need me, or not even need me, just to say, hey, I'm here. You know, if you need me, it may not be physically, but if you need somebody to talk to, I'm always here. And sometimes it kind of hurts when you don't feel like you get that in return from your friends. I've just noticed recently that I've stopped reaching out so much to people that I just don't really hear from. And it's like, you don't get that feeling of validation when they reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we here, you know, we still cool. And it's not that there's no any bad blood, but it's just like, it's the understanding part. If y'all are not on the same page with the understanding, then communication is really important. So I have to work on that as well. Like, there's a lot of things that I need to work on, and I'm never a person that's just say, I'm just the bomb, like I'm just perfect, I don't have anything to work on, because that's not the case. So I think being a good friend is also taking a look at yourself and seeing what it is that you can be doing that you aren't doing. What is it that you can be communicating that you haven't been communicating? Maybe you feel that kind of way and you just don't know how to communicate it to these people in your life. And it's like, you don't want conflict, you don't want it to be like an issue, but you feel some kind of way, you know. It's not really anything specific that's going on in my life, but it's just been on my mind because I really care a lot about my friends. Anybody that's my friend knows how much I care about my friends. Sometimes my fiance will say, like, you just be doing the most for your friends. That's just who I am. I do the most for everybody. Like, I'm just that kind of person. Like, if I can do it, I'm gonna be on top of it. If I can't, hopefully you understand and you know that, you know, my heart is still in a good place. It just sucks when you don't have that understanding. Maybe your friend thinks that y'all have that understanding. So that's where communication comes in. A friendship is just like an intimate relationship in some sorts, because you all know things about each other that may be personal. You share these moments with each other that you may not share with other people, and so, you know, it's kind of an intimate relationship. So it needs to be nourished and caressed as such. But then it begs the question of, how many friends are too many friends? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have that many friends, or I don't classify people as my friends. And I'm not the type of person to put people in boxes. If we have a good relationship, I consider you my friend, because I would do for you what I would do for my friends. Now, we may not know as much about each other, or we may not have that history, but if I feel like we have some things in common, we can relate and we can talk to each other without feeling like we have to withhold information and things like that. Yeah, I have associates, you know, I have some people that I know them, but I also have a lot of people that I consider my friends. So I don't know if that's to my detriment, because I can say probably in my lifetime I have one good solid instance of being burnt by a friend that I can remember. But other than that, like, I'm very open to people, and I feel like people receive that and they take me as genuine, because I am truly genuine. So it's just, you know, sometimes you get to a point in a friendship where it's like, well, you know, are we really friends? What does this person think of me? And it's not overt or like, you know, we had a falling out or anything, but it's just like, you try to put these things into perspective and not let your friendship depend on social media, because you need those interactions outside of social media. I don't know, it's just really weird. I am a type of person that reaches out to people. I've always been that way. I will always go to people's house before they come to mine. I've always been that way since I was younger, and I'm still that way. But now that I have a family, I can't be that way as much as I once was. So then, you know, you kind of start to see people kind of drop out of your life a little bit. And I mean, I guess that's just the facts of life. That's just what comes with getting older and people having their own lives. Like I said, I know how it is to be busy and you just have so much going on. So I never take it personally. But at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, are we friends or not? Like, you don't have to come to my house. You don't have to meet up with me somewhere or go to the movies. But I mean, can a sister get a Facebook message? You know, like, hey girl, what's up? That's all I'm saying. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because I know a lot of people can relate. And I just want to hear your thoughts on friendship and social media. How do they intertwine? Well, just let me know what you think about it. So I'm so glad that you all tuned in. Hello to my new subscribers. I've gotten a few new subscribers in the last few weeks, and I'm so thankful, so happy that you all decided to join my channel. And I think the last thing that I just want to leave you with is, don't think that you are just the perfect friend, because chances are you have some areas that you can improve upon with your friendship. Don't think about yourself all the time, you know. Think about other people. What can they use? Even if it's not something physical, like just be giving. Be a giving person, and that love and that thoughtfulness will come back to you in other ways. It may not come back from that same exact friend, but it will come back in other ways. Like, everything that you do doesn't need a repayment, or doesn't need for somebody to say, hey, you did a good job. But just be a good person, you know. I try to live by that, and I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. I don't know. Hopefully this message reached somebody. Like I said, I didn't know where I was going with this. Nobody's here, so I didn't feel silly talking to myself. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you could relate, and follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. And also subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you like these videos, and I will continue to give these Let's Chat videos and still keep up with my beauty and my thrift hauls and things like that. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to me talk. And I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.